returns to Monte Carlo once again today, home to the world-famous Monte Carlo Casino that first opened in 1863. And of course, a certain road race first held in 1929. There's no greater an occasion, no more valuable a win than the Monaco Grand Prix. The astonishing Circuit de Monaco is, for all intents and purposes, virtually unchanged since its inaugural race back in 1929. The faster cars of today ensure the 19 corners past the casino and along the seafront remain as thrilling as ever. A 2.1-mile lap here takes us around an entire country, yet never more than inches from the race-ending barriers. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Sainz, Max Verstappen and Norris, Perez, Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso and Pierre Gasly, Magnussen, Vettel, Guan Yu Zhou and Mick Schumacher, Tsunoda, Stroll, Esteban Ocon and Valtteri Bottas, Albon, Surfer Boy, Latifi and Richard Verschoor. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Now I wonder, Anthony Davidson, might we be in for some early pit stops today from the midfield teams, trying to put a bit of pressure on or disrupt things for the leaders?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you got your own race to run. I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running second and third, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut while leaving the other one out there longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into an error.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Welcome to Driving Immersion for the immersive racing experience. Up ahead, a full race with full simulation from the cockpit. No anti-lock brakes, no traction control, no driving line, fully manual pit stops, and simulation wear and damage. We drive with a Fanatec Formula V2 wheel and pedals. We also use Track IR5 for driving from the cockpit. Let us know what you think of the race and comment below. Give us a like and consider subscribing. It helps us reach other racing fans. You can catch us on Facebook and YouTube. Here's our one-stop strategy with a set of the hard tires to begin with, and we're going to stop at lap 44. We are going to put in 78.3 laps of fuel only, and hopefully that won't put us into a deficit. We finally made it to Monaco, and we're expecting a hard-fought race, very close quarters, and very close barriers. So here we go. The beginning of the formation lap, we are going to start off very near the back at P20. We had made the suspension as soft and compliant as possible, but the car just won't go fast enough. We do have a worn engine. There's turn 1 to the right. Turn 2 right here, very soft left-hander. Turn 3 here, a longer left-hander, and we're immediately going to go into turn 4 to the right, and we are now in front of the casino, which is just to the right there. Going to avoid the bump there on the left. Come down to turn 5, which is the top of Mirabeau. Turn 6, the very tight left-hander, we are going to be in first gear and lock all the way to the left. Turn 7 to the right. Another right turn, it's turn 8 and through the tunnel. And this will make turn 9. Turn 10 here, this chicane, again very slow. We are going to be going down to first gear. There's a sausage curve on the right that we're going to have to avoid because it will unsettle the car. Turn 12. Turn 13 followed by turn 14 at the pool. turn 15 here. Turn 16, rest gas. Turn 17 to the right, immediately by turn 18 to the left, and down the main straight. Overshot our starting grid position by just a little bit. Lights out and we are a go. And for once we are not at the very back of the pack. There are a few cars behind us. We are doing a lot of nudging and bumping here with the Alfa Romeo. And I can't recall if that's Botas. There's another bump with the AlphaTauri. And right now we're up to P16. We are going to take P15 with that pass. Down through turn 6, we are rubbing with one of the Alfa Romeos. And we're going to have to let him go. I believe that is the Chinese driver Zhou. So right behind us is going to be Lance Stroll and Esteban Ocon. Riding here with Lance Stroll, watching the Alpine of Esteban Ocon. And right ahead of him is going to be the number 66 of Driving Immersion. Turn 17, 18, down the main straight, into the only DRS zone, lap 2, so it's not activated just yet. Up Beau Rivage. Turn left into turn 3, turn right into turn 4, in front of the casino again. Looking at the timing, it's only lap 2 and we are 2.6 seconds behind now. Again, we had actually set the car with a lot of wing. I believe it is 44 in the front and 50 in the rear, which is the maximum. And we are using the highest downforce setup available. And with the programmed setup, what you have is a very stiff front end. I believe it is 10 with the suspension and 10 with the anti-roll bars in the front. So it is very stiff, and it does work very well with the soft red tires. However, we're not even going to use those in the race. So we are using softer springs. I believe we are down to 6, and again, softer anti-roll bars in the front, from 10 all the way to, I believe it was 7 or 8. So it's a little bit softer. We are going to require a little bit more compliance since we do not have the grip from the white hard tires, and again, our second set of tires are going to be the yellows, which are mediums, but again, they're not as grippy as the soft red tires. So we are requiring this bit of compliance just to get more grip out of these tires. So looking back at Esteban Ocon and Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin, just behind him, coming through the pool area. Very close racing so far. right over the curb in turn 1. We are going to be using our ERS up the hill, and you can see there that we do put a little bit of distance on Lance Stroll and Esteban Ocon. Past the casino. And at the Grand Hotel hairpin. And right turn through turn 8 and through the tunnel. On the nose cone of Ocon in the Alpine. I believe there was a little nudge there.
Okay, gap ahead is 5.6 seconds.
So lap 5, and we have lost 5 seconds to the car in front. So we are rather slow. However, there's just not enough room for the other cars to pass us, and they're not really showing a lot of speed either.
Set up the start, Prix.
Through the tunnel with Esteban Ocon. That is the 66 driving Immersion right in front. And back on board. Turn 14. Turn 15. And as a historic track, the track is very tight throughout with no runoff really, unless you hit the barrier. That's the casino to your right. And a view from the crane through the hairpin. Turn 7, turn 8. And back through the tunnel. So the lap's only about 2 miles, which is not very far. But again, it is one of the old historic tracks that has managed to remain on the calendar, as it still presents a challenge to any driver in Formula One. So that is Esteban Ocon just behind us, and he is very racy. This is one of the points in the track where he's actually able to get very close, but again, it's just not wide enough to do any passing. And along the straights, he just doesn't have enough speed.
Second lap.
Yes, lap 15, and we are losing about a second a lap to the Alfa Romeo just in front. But it's lap 15 and we haven't hit the wall yet, have not broken anything. We did have a lot of bumping in the very first corners of the race with the other cars as we jumped them before the finish of the first lap. And you can see there that on the HUD display, which is on the lower right of the screen, the diagram shows that the engine is, I guess, marginal in yellow. so we do need to change that out. I was thinking of changing it out for the race here in Monaco, but again, not a very fast race, as it's a very short track with very few straights, so didn't want to put wear and tear on a new engine for the race here in Monaco. And you can see here that we are a little bit slow, but
Okay, you're losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Just
we
keep
would have to
pushing.
be considerably faster in order to get past the cars in front, and even a new engine won't do that, so we avoided a lot of wear and tear. I believe we will be putting it in for the next race, and for now it is still holding up. So very difficult to accelerate out of turn 8. We are going into a straight just underneath the tunnel, but we are going so slow that in order to accelerate that fast, we lose a lot of traction in the rear. So it's a lot of car control. Past the pool area there on the left. Again, Ocon very close. Up Beau Rivage with Esteban Ocon just behind. And looking at the standings, you can see our rival Alexander Albon is behind in 18th place. Our teammate in last place. So lap 10 in 15th place. We are 9.5 seconds behind the car in front, and just about a half a second in front of the car behind. We are on our first set of tires, which are the white hard tires, and we're going to have to make them last. I don't know if you got the chance to see there, but Esteban Ocon behind us has the medium yellow tires, and he should be a little bit faster, but there's just nowhere to pass. There's another shot. Again, just not enough room. We do have simulation damage, so it's likely he would lose a front wing if he made an attempt there, or if the cars come in contact. Again, riding with Esteban Ocon, watching the 66 just in front, coming into the hotel hairpin. There we are, a very slow Left-hander in first gear with full lock to the left. Turn 8 as we accelerate out. It looks like Lance Stroll is falling behind just a little bit. Another attempt there. He's very close this time. Nope. It's very likely that his car is very fast through there, and he does have the grip. But I think it's more likely that we overshoot that turn as it happens and comes on very quickly. Here we are again. He's got a lot of speed, is very close. This time we're a little bit more careful about leaving it open and do not shoot it wide. Through turn 1, up Beau Rivage. So lap 13 now, we are 13 seconds behind Guangzhou in the Alfa Romeo. Losing about a second a lap for the race. Oh, very sketchy there as we lose traction coming out of turn 16 rest gas. And we are going to manage to stay in front of Esteban Ocon and Lance Stroll just behind. A little bit of ERS through the tunnel and through the Nouvelle chicane. Again, very close through S-Class there. He was actually on the inside. He should have bumped me, and I'm looking for any damage to Esteban Ocon's front wing. That was enough to move the car. And he is still quite in the race, so perhaps no damage to his car. And it is Monaco, so we do expect a lot of bumping here throughout the lap. It's possible that in the game the cars are a little bit more robust.
Damage, huh?
So lap 16 of 78, we are 17 seconds behind the car in front and just about 0.6 seconds ahead of the car behind us. And that is Esteban Ocon, and just behind him, Lance Stroll. Coming through the Grand Hotel hairpin and the lower Mirabeau, Portier, turn 8, and then through the tunnel. Coming out to the Nouvelle Chicane, turn 10, turn 11. So in setting up the car, we had a very difficult time as obviously this track is going to require the most downforce that you can get. And when you are setting the presets or using the presets in the game for the setup, you will get the one with the most downforce, which will, I believe it's 40 front wing, 50 rear wing. But what you get is a very stiff front end. It is 10 on the springs and 10 stiffness on the anti-roll bars, but in time trial what you have are the super softs, which are the soft tires, and they are certainly a lot more grippy than the hard tires, white stripe tires that we have on now, and even the yellow or medium tires. So what happens is that we have to decrease the stiffness of the front of the vehicle so that we can get a little bit more compliance and mechanical grip from the front tires. These hard tires don't have a lot of traction when your suspension is that stiff, so we have to soften up the front end a little bit. But we still can't solve why this car is so far behind. There are a lot of things in development. It's possible that the cars are that much further in development when you are looking at their programs during the practice sessions. They are much more ahead as far as engineering. But that is what happens to a first-year team, obviously. So lap 17. We are trying to stay off the walls. We do have simulation settings for the damage and wear. And you got a little look there. You can see that there is a big chunk taken out of the right wing upright. No, it's the left wing upright. And I believe that is from lap 1 when there was a lot of bumping going on. but the car has survived, and our HUD indicates no damage. Riding now with Lance Stroll, having a look at Esteban Ocon and the number 66 just ahead. Coming in through 17 and 18, very slow section of the track. Opens up into a DRS zone, and you can see in his rear view mirror his rear wing had opened up. And same would be true for Esteban Ocon in the Alpine just ahead. Again, very slow through here, through the Grand Hotel hairpin. Full lock to the left, in first gear.
Just hit the wall.
So we may have hit the wall there between 7 and 8. Again, there is no damage indicated in the HUD. And at lap 19, we have about 15% wear in the front and 21% wear in the rear. We do not have traction control, so we are putting a lot of wear in the rear tires, accelerating out. Certainly more than
behind is 16.2 seconds.
in the front. Again through Beau Rivage. Here we are riding a few cars back with Alexander Albon, our rival. So we got to look at how they behaved through the lap in comparison to how we were driving. Obviously, we can't do this while we're driving, but in the broadcast, you can certainly have a look, see what gear they're in, have a idea where they're braking and accelerating and so on, and how their car is behaving. And good enough. It's not too different from the number 66, the car we're driving. So we got to look at the cars just behind us, and you can see there that they don't have too much speed. Certainly not enough to challenge and try to get around. There we are. You can see Esteban Ocon is very nearby. And he's giving us a challenge, still at every corner. And he's having a look at how the 66 is doing. Very slow part of the track here.
It cost me 2 seconds.
And through the hairpin, you can see how many cars are behind us. We are going just as fast as we can. Unfortunately, these cars behind us can't go that much faster. So lap 24 of 78, we have been losing a lot of time to the car in front. We are now just about 30 seconds behind. I think for the last several laps we have been driving with our rear view mirrors as Esteban Ocon is nearby. And one little mistake and we'll have a couple of cars passing us. So we're trying to make sure that we don't open the door. Valtteri Bottas in 20th place. And it looks like there's a Ferrari coming through. Perhaps two of them. Back to the 66. Clean lap so far. 17, 18, 19. And the beginning of lap 28, you can see our timing there that we've been about a second slower on that lap than our fastest lap.
32.2 seconds.
And as you can see, we are losing time to the car in front. We do have wear on these tires as we started the race with them, and it's about 30% in the rear now.
Flag is for.
Coming out of the tunnel once again, we are still in P15. That is Esteban Ocon in the Alpine right behind us. Coming through the pool area. Turn 16. 17 and 18. Down the main straight.
Gap to your teammate behind is 18.7 seconds.
So there is a blue flag being displayed now, and we have a quick look to see who's behind us. Being such a tight street track, we want to make sure that we only allow the faster cars around us. And that's going to be priority when someone comes around with a blue flag. So quick look through the rear view mirror there. There is Ocon just behind us. And right behind him you'll see a Mercedes. So that is the car that we're getting a blue flag for, the silver and green Mercedes, not the car just behind us. So we want to make sure that Esteban Ocon stays behind. There's the Mercedes now, a little bit closer at the end of the lap. And obviously Esteban Ocon has to let him through, and then we're going to wait for him to come through. And here we're going to have to wait for an opportune time just to make sure that Esteban Ocon does not slip through. We're only letting the Mercedes through. And there we are. Perfect timing, just enough to close the door and squeeze him out. So the Mercedes is through, and we have Esteban Ocon still behind us. Looking at the timing on the steering wheel, you can see that we're about 2.6 seconds slower than our fastest lap, and that is the result of having to let the Mercedes through.
The pit window, and you're going to be on mediums.
So right at about now, we are wondering what that call was from the pit lane. We know that our programmed stop is not until lap 44. If we come in now for a change of tires, they're going to put on the medium tires, the yellow tires, and it's certainly not going to be enough to finish the race. the way that we have our pit strategy set up. If we pit at lap 44, the yellow tires at the end of the race will just be a few seconds slower than their fastest time. But if we lap now, certainly they will be worn out by the end of the race. Possible that we may not get to the end of the race if we change the tires now. So we're going to ignore the call from the pit lane. Again, from the helicopter view, you can see Esteban Ocon and Lance Stroll just behind. Still very nearby. So looking at the timing, you can see that obviously Magnussen and Gasly have come in to change out of the tires. Schumacher, Vettel, all coming in, as Guan Yu Zhou has moved up to 10th place. And there's a pass there between Vettel and Magnussen.
Open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap.
I don't think you guys got the pit strategy correct.
Coming by the pit straight, you can see that Vettel and Schumacher and those ahead have pitted and changed out of their tires and have left the pit lane already. And for now, we're going to keep our place in 15th place. Drop down one too many gears. Lap 34, our tires now have 26 and 37% wear in the rear.
Front is 24.9 seconds.
So we're still getting a call to pit, looking at the display in the steering wheel.
Zhou is stopping now. The car behind's only a second down on you, 1 second.
So we got a call that Zhou has been stopped.
The car behind is
and you can
back
see
by
here that
well done.
he is still ahead of us, so he has left the pit already. So the pit lane may be a little bit late or off on the calls.
Richard's coming in for his stop.
And there's a call for Richard Bercher, our teammate, coming in for a change of tires. Our original strategy was to start off with a set of yellows along with most other teams. I believe there are a few teams that started off with the hard tires like we did. And those are the ones that are going to stay out a little bit longer. So Joe is 23 seconds ahead. This is Mick Schumacher ahead of him. Sebastian Vettel in the Aston Martin. Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri. Just ahead of him, Kevin Magnussen in the Haas. But Sergio Perez in the Red Bull is 25 seconds ahead. So again, having a look at the field, Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz, Max Verstappen in 5th place, but not too far behind. There's still a pretty good race, less than a second for the lead just ahead. They are coming around with Fernando Alonso in the very front, and it's possible that he has not stopped, along with Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. They still have their yellows. There's the drive through the Nouvelle Chicane. So we got to look there that we are making some time.
Ahead is 26.7 seconds.
On Esteban Ocon. Now 1.8 seconds behind. DRS is not available to him. Also looking at the timing, it looks like Lance Stroll has stopped for a change of tires. He remains in 17th place behind Ocon. Still able to maintain a distance to Esteban Ocon. It's now 1.9 seconds. Coming through turn 8 and into the tunnel. So the best way to come in through 16 and 17 is just to really slow the car down, and we basically start braking at turn 15. There's just no room for runoff there if you're going too fast and you lose traction. Definitely losing time now to Guan Yu Zhou. You can see that we are 33 seconds behind. He does have a set of new tires. I believe most cars ahead of us will have new tires at this point. So lap 39 of 78, we've got to go 5 more laps on this set of tires. And the great thing about the white or hard tires and the medium, the yellow tires, is that they don't fall off as quickly as the red tires. And when the red tires or soft tires fall off, they really don't have a lot of traction left. So once they fall off, you only have maybe 5 or 6 laps to really come in and change out. You can see here that we've been putting laps on this set of hard tires, and they're still doing pretty well. They are falling off, but in small increments. Looking at the HUD display on the lower right, you can see that the
Tyre condition still looking good.
engine is illuminated in orange, and that would be, I guess, similar to an engine light on the dashboard of a car.
Blue flag, blue flag.
It is the first engine that we started off the season with.
Okay, gap ahead is 38.2 seconds.
So now you can see the Mercedes is coming through again. I believe they may have pitted and changed out of tires. Again, we are keeping the door closed on Esteban Ocon. Second Mercedes, Ferrari. So the lead group is coming through. And we're going to have to let all these cars by. So we have a Mercedes and then Ocon. So open the door for the Mercedes, close it again. Ferrari, Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren. All those cars have to come through.
Blue flag. And gap to the car in front is
So going very slow here.
9 seconds.
In fact, we're given the yellow just because we are going so slow. But again, we have to filter out who gets to by. And you can see we let a Ferrari go by, but Esteban Ocon is still behind us. And we got to keep him back. It looks like we got bumped. Got bumped again. So that is an Alpine that's gone by. You can see there in the timing that it was not Ocon.
Let them pass when you can.
And that may have been Fernando Alonso. right now we have to let all these cars through. There is Lance Stroll in the green car, and we're going to have to clip him off. Make sure he doesn't go through. There we go. You can see the Red Bull is just about to get by. Nope. He takes it back from the Red Bull. So again, very slow through here, trying to filter out these cars. That is the Williams. And we have to make sure that he doesn't get through either, because we're actually racing with him. So again, a very difficult part of the race here. We have to make sure that we don't get passed by the cars we're racing with while trying to maintain speed. And that Williams is the Williams of Alex Albon. We are still racing with him. We are still racing with the green car, which will be Lance Stroll, and he's right behind us. There we are. So the orange car that's coming through, we've got to let through actually. We have to let the orange car through, and I believe the Haas also gets to come through. Meanwhile, we have to keep Lance Stroll behind us. There we are. The orange car and the Haas get through Lance Stroll, and we're going to have to let these two go through. And right now would be an opportune time. Unfortunately, they're very slow to come through. We overshoot the chicane. There we are. Lance Stroll right to our side. Very complicated, and we're doing all of this with our rear view mirrors and our proximity sensors. So there's an AlphaTauri we're getting blue flag for. We're going to let him through. There's Alex Albon again. He's still trying to come through. We are racing with him. He is in 16th place and we are still in 15th. So the Haas has to come through, and it looks like Stroll has to let him by first. But we're going to get a moment to breathe here as we wait for the Haas to come through. Still has not passed Stroll, and he's got to pass Stroll in order to get past us. Very tight part of the course here.
Racing the car behind, let them pass when you can.
And it is the end of lap 44. We are coming in. Fortunately for us,
Issue attaching the left front wheel. I know it's not ideal, but let's try and put that behind us and get back into this race. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
you can see now on the HUD on the lower right hand of the screen, our tires are fresh, 0% wear, and it looks like our transmission has lit up yellow along with our combustion engine. There are very many gear shifts here throughout the lap, and there's 78 laps. So I guess another hint here coming into Monaco is not to come here with a worn out transmission. So for now, the track is clear all around us, as we have a set of new tires. This would be a good opportunity to make us some fast laps. Coming in through the pool area there on the right. And the very tight 15, 16, 17, and 18. So past the midway point of the race, we have not smacked the wall or at least broken anything off. And so we are very happy to keep on going. We are in P21 after our pit stop, so that's pretty far behind, and you can see the other cars are going so much faster. But again, we're going to keep going. We are happy that we have not smacked into the wall. And looking at the timing on the steering wheel, we are going a little bit faster than our fastest lap right now. About 0.2 of a second. So that's good news. So turn 3 is a very long left-hander, and you're basically just trying to hang on to whatever grip you've got and slowing the car down. Very wide through the exit there. So looking at the timing, it looks like our teammate is ahead of us, and he is that car following the 2 cars ahead. I believe he will be going for a 2-stop. He did stop sometime back, early on in the race.
Blue flag, blue flag.
Here we are, another blue flag, and we tried to wait for somebody to come through. Obviously, it didn't happen, and we lost a lot of time. Gonna look at our rear view, and I believe that is another Mercedes after our pit. Yes. So the Mercedes are going very fast. If he could just get around me, I can continue on with my lap. Oh, there's 2 of them. And again, that is our teammate Richard Verschure just in front. You can see that he pulled over to let the two Mercedes go by. We are racing with him. We don't expect that he's going to let us by. So right here, we're going to pass a couple of cars coming into Mirabeau, and that would be Verschure, and I believe that is Latifi. I believe they were caught sleeping, letting the two Mercedes go by, along with
Nice move.
Valtteri Bottas. So in a matter of about 3 corners, we made up 3 places. In through the hairpin from above, you can see there's a Mercedes, or I'm sorry, a Ferrari, and we're going to have to let him through. But just behind us is Nicholas Latifi and Valtteri Bottas in the Alfa Romeo. Very big slide coming into Nouvelle Chicane, and you can see we almost didn't make it. There are the light boxes indicating blue flag. And looking back, there is no one directly behind us right now, so we're going to keep on going. There had been occasions when we were showing the blue flag. No one was behind us, but we got penalized. Not in this race, but in previous races. So right now when you see that light box turn blue, you got to look behind. I believe the rule is that you have to let him by, or let the car by within 5 corners or 5 turns. But right now, there is no one directly behind us. So that may be a fix that has to be made to the game, or I may be wrong on the rule. You're welcome to comment below and let me know. What are the rules with the blue flag, and how soon should you let them by? So right behind you can see that Nicholas Latifi and the Williams has gotten a little bit closer. We are still looking just behind us to see who is coming through, and as of yet we don't see a car. Trying to make sure that we don't get penalized for holding somebody back. So in our mirrors there is a blue car and there's a red car, but I believe that red car is partially white, indicating that's the Alfa Romeo. There we are. We had another quick look back, and I believe that is a Ferrari coming through with the Williams and the Aston Martin letting him through.
Blue flag. And gap to the car in front is 17.2 seconds.
There we are. Letting the Ferrari go through 16 and 17 as we are slow anyway. We just have to open the door. So looking at the timing, you can see there that Alex Albon, Lance Stroll, and Yuki Tsunoda had gotten by us in that time that we had pitted. It's very possible that if they did pit early, that their tires may be wearing near the end of the race. As it is only lap 54.78. Just got a call there about.
Mechanical issue means you've lost one of the gears, I'm afraid. Say again, you have lost access to one of the gears.
So we're skipping a gear right now, and let's see which one it is. It's gear number 2. So a very important gear here in the very slow section that we're approaching. Let's just make sure that we can keep the cars behind us.
Right, we've looked at the gearbox issue, but I'm afraid there's nothing we can do. Try and drive around it.
Skipping
You
again.
just have to hope for the best. Remember, you've got a lot of torque in these power units, so you should be able to stay in high gears for a lot of the lap.
Looking at the proximity indicator, there are a lot of cars behind us. So we gotta just keep chugging along. So
Okay,
coming
got
in,
second back.
coming in through the Nouvelle chicane, you can see we've got second gear back. So for the 22 season, we've had a couple of other occasions where the transmission had failed. Not always second gear, but when we lose a gear, it usually comes back within a few laps. Have not had one yet fail through the end of the race.
There's so many things wrong with the timing here. Tag the wall.
Yeah, so there, if you were looking, you can see that we did tag the wall. There was a little puff of smoke that came out from the tire rubbing on the wall, and you can see there that we still have our wing, we still have our tire, and at the time there was no damage indicated on the HUD. And in some of the shots, you can see there that the end wings and the front wing have little chunks taken out of them, and that is from battling with other cars. Most of it in the first lap, So riding with Latifi here in the Williams, watching the 66 go through turn 8. That is Valtteri Bottas in the Alfa Romeo, just behind. So the 66 is able to stretch out some time there through the tunnel. And riding with Valtteri Bottas, you can see the blue flag and the light boxes showing. So there is a faster car waiting to come through. And looking back, it is a Red Bull, and I believe that is another Ferrari behind him. So lap 58 of 78, it's such a short, tight track. We can't keep of which cars are going by. At this point of the race, it feels like the Mercedes have passed us at least several times. We've seen the Ferraris and the Red Bulls come through a couple of times with the McLarens. And it's really showing that our car is third tier. But we haven't lost any parts, so we're going to keep on going. There we are, a very, very brief view of the front wing. You can see that there are chunks taken out of it as the Red Bull comes around. And that is a Ferrari. We're going to give him a pass through. We are racing with the blue car behind him, and he's quite a ways back, so there we go. So we're still getting the blue flag. A brief look back there, and I believe that would be another Ferrari. I didn't think that they were nose and tail to each other. So a lot of blue flags going on right now, and again, once in a while we check our rear view mirror.
Blue flag, blue flag.
So that would be a McLaren that we're going to let through, the orange car. Very slow through here. It took us time coming around. We got to make sure that Latifi behind us in the Williams does not get by. So there's another car we got to let by, the Red Bull.
Our gap to the car in front is 30.4 seconds.
And that is Bottas trying to come around in turn 1. I believe he had to give the position back as he would be cutting the corner. And he was very quick about it, so that is the train of cars that we are leading right now. That includes our teammate. So there we are. You just got to look at the timing. Esteban Ocon is at the back of the race, and it appears he waited a very, very long time to change out of his tires. He had been racing nose and tail with us for the very first half of the race. So again, that is Valtteri Bottas. We are racing with him. Behind him, Nicholas Latifi in the Williams, the blue car. We are racing with him. Behind him, Richard Verschure, our teammate, and we are racing with him. Having a look around the track, you can see the very impressive grandstands in this very, very small track. Racing now with Valtteri Bottas right behind, as he had managed to get around Nicholas Latifi a few laps ago. Coming into the Grand Hotel hairpin. Portier. So we're watching from the nose cam of Valtteri Bottas, watching the 66 come through the pool area, through 16 and 17, and 18. Down the main straight. Now looking back at a McLaren, obviously he's coming through as the TP in the blue car here is the one that's racing with him, with Valtteri Bottas. There's the McLaren. Back on board with the 66. There is a McLaren approaching. We're going to have to let him by. Looking for the perfect moment right now. There we go. So many times the perfect moment is based on how far back the car is passing you. And on this track, it's a very, very short time that you have to let them by when the opportunity presents itself. So just ahead is the McLaren, and we are going to try to stick with him just to see how fast our car is. It is lap 64 of 78. Our yellow tires should be at the peak of their performance, as we did change into them about 20 laps ago. perhaps for the first time in the race, we're able to activate our DRS behind the McLaren just ahead. Still running with the McLaren. He is not that much faster than us. You can see here that he's got advantage in some of the corners.
Pulling out a second a lap on the car behind. Really good stuff.
So lap 66 of 78, you can see that we are staying with the McLaren just ahead of us. And right now, what we're doing is we're not making any crazy or risky movements. And you can see that that is allowing us to drive a little bit faster through the lap. So starting lap 68 of 78, 10 laps to go, you can see here that we're still able to stay with the McLaren. And I believe he's leading us to drive faster and more safely around the track, not taking any risks. So again, that is allowing us to drive faster around. Meanwhile, if you look at the timing, we are now 3 seconds ahead of Valtteri Bottas, who is just behind us before we started to trail this McLaren. Immersion back from the McLaren of Daniel Ricciardo. That is the 66. Able to stick. Coming past Casino, we are still with Daniel Ricciardo. There we get another look at the chunks taken out of the front wing. Overdriven the Nouvelle Chicane. It looks like Daniel Ricciardo may be having a misstep here. However, we are not racing with him. He is a lap ahead of us. But right now he is leading us through, and we are lapping faster.
Front tires are done.
Having a look at the wear and tear.
Shape compared to the rears.
Having a look at the wear and tear on the tires. Again, the rear tires are still wearing faster than the front ones. There is more air in the rear tires. But at this rate, we should be able to finish the race. Having a look back from the 66, there are no cars behind us. And we are still with the McLaren just ahead. Lap 72 of 78 now. We are 30 seconds behind Yuki Tsunoda ahead of us. Now we did lose our place in 15th place to Alexander Albon, Lance Stroll, and Yuki Tsunoda. We did have a misstep when we were in the pits. But the fact that they are that much further ahead of us just means that they would have been able to go faster than us. And they did once they got around. So Daniel Ricciardo is starting to get away just a little bit. Quick third-person view of the car. There is Daniel Ricciardo. You saw him disappear just into the right turn here. And we're going to have to let him go as we still have to finish the race on this set of tires. Not very many more laps left, but we do have cars that we're racing behind us. And again, we are not racing Daniel Ricciardo.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
So lap 74 of 78. We had been lapped a couple of times. So I believe we will finish the race at lap 76. That's still yet to be seen. And we get a call there that the front tires are gone. And right now they are 29% worn in the front, 41% in the back. And going back to the number of laps that we think we'll have to finish, should only be 2 at this point. So I think we'll survive in this set of tires. You can see there that Valtteri Bottas is about 2 seconds behind. There he is.
Bottas started to come back.
Gap ahead is 32.8 seconds.
And there you got a chance to see the McLaren just disappear ahead of us.
And that's just 5 laps of fuel remaining.
So lap 75 of 78, we have more than 2 laps of fuel extra. So again, we're carrying around a lot of weight at the end of the race. And we still yet have to solve that problem. If you know of a solution, comment below and let us know.
Gonna finish this lap.
And you can see there that Valtteri is getting close. You can see he is in the proximity sensor now. But judging by the calculations, this should be the last lap. I wish the pit box would indicate exactly how many laps we have left. We will know in just a few seconds if the front runners will be crossing the finish line by the time we reach the end of this lap, or before we reach the end of this lap. So there we are. Lewis Hamilton has just crossed the start-finish line, and this will be the last time around. And so that is the end of the race. P18 from P20.
Take care of the car on the way in.
Very tough, hard-fought race.
The Mercedes team pulled out a fantastic performance today. They should be proud. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. So let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. Well, after an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Well, for me, it's got to be Lewis Hamilton. The multiple world champion may be the boring choice at this point, but you can't argue that he's a driver deserving of his reputation.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. No change in the top spot then, but with today's points, their hold on that lead is getting weaker. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
Congratulations, you've completed another exciting full-length race at the Principality of Monaco. Let us know what you think of the race and comment below. Consider giving us a like and subscribing for more racing. We can be found on Facebook and YouTube.